All right. All right, we are out at Fulton County, out in front of Fulton County Superior Court. It has been just an explosive day. The last 2 days have been absolutely explosive here at Fulton County Courthouse. Today, this morning at about 9 o'clock, Judge McAfee handed down his ruling. Now, let's just be honest. It wasn't really a ruling. At the end of the day, he has given Fannie the opportunity to, for all intents and purposes, to decide her fate. She can decide whether or not she wants to step aside, or she can stay on and prosecute the case. But Nathan would have to step aside. So, for all intents and purposes, what we can determine is that more than likely she will pull Nathan Wade from the case, and she will continue as a prosecutor to handle the case in-house. Because if she steps aside, what that's going to do is allow them to have the opportunity, which is just what they want. It's going to give them the opportunity to decide or determine just what prosecutor that they would want. And if they determine what prosecutor that they want, then more than likely we would run the risk of the entire case being dismissed. So we doubt very seriously that that's going to happen. As you well know, he dismissed six of the I think it was a total of 41 counts, and 6 of them have been dismissed. But for the most part, the essence of it is that the case is still moving forward, and they did not have enough, or the defense did not present a good enough case to have enough facts and enough reasons to disqualify Fannie Willis. Now, maybe the questions of some things being unethical, inappropriate, perhaps maybe they should have disclosed or said, yes, we're in a relationship, and let that be known, or what have you. At the end of the day, grand scheme of things, it really doesn't make any difference. But I'll be very frank with you. I think that this is a very weak judge, and I don't think that he was capable of handling the pressure of the case. Not that I was in agreement with Fannie being disqualified, because I certainly wasn't. But I feel like just like he did dismiss 6 counts on Wednesday, he knew what his decision was on Wednesday. And to hold out for whatever his reasons were for 2 weeks to finally tell us what his decision was absolutely ludicrous. I mean, he could have said it a long time ago. And did it take him that long to research and look up case law to be able to, no, it didn't take him that long. It didn't take him that long. For whatever reasons, maybe he was trying to allow the climate to simmer down or die down or some of that. Perhaps maybe that's the reason why he decided to take 2 whole weeks. But it wasn't, it never seemed necessary for it to take 2 weeks for him to make a determination. And he did not, if you really think about it in grand scheme of things, he didn't really make a decision. He really didn't make a decision. Basically, he has put the DA in the position to determine what she wants to do, which is not something that I think that is indicative of a judge. I feel like if you're a judge and you're trying to become perhaps a federal judge, then you got to, have some guts, and you got to make some determining factors. So here it is. There are 2 options. There are 2 options. One, she can step aside, Nate Wade prosecute the case. Or she can fire him and remain on the case. So not really a major determination in the grand scheme of things. Not a decision without making a decision. So that came down at 9:00 this Friday morning, just as he pretty much said that he would. He stuck right to he held off for the entire 2 weeks, as he said that he was, and that was the decision. Okay, so we have people saying that Nathan Wade has decided to step down, and Fannie will remain the prosecutor, and that has to happen, because if a Republican prosecutor came in, they were going to essentially dismiss the case. So anyway, this is none other than Sir William here at the Fulton County Superior Courthouse in Atlanta. And also, let me give you the update on the YSL trial. All right, so yesterday in the courtroom, it got to be some serious fireworks. The DA and one of the defense attorneys went head to head, to the point where one of the deputies, Deputy Ingram, had to say, hey, y'all got to tone it down. Now, Adrienne Love is a hard-nosed assistant DA, and she was vehemently objecting to a recording of a lying, for the most part, this state's witness, Adrian Bean, is a total and complete liar. He's saying that he don't remember anything, but he said, y'all asked me that same thing last week. Well, if you can remember that they asked you that last week, how can you not remember anything about this case? So for the most part, he has been denied. I don't recall. And today, today he had a complete and total nervous breakdown on the stand. He complained because Adrian Love, the prosecutor, they gave out his number, or his number was stated. His phone number was stated in open court. He says that he's been getting all kind of threats, and people have been calling him and texting him. He said that he has lost his job as a result of this, and that he is the father of 3 children, and he is also married. So it has been an interesting thing. He basically asked, could he be excused? He asked a judge, could he be excused? Judge Gainville told him that that was not possible, that he had to fulfill his obligation to the state, and he had to be there. He had to be questioned and properly cross-examined, and that's exactly what is happening. What is taking place. So anyway, I've been here covering these interesting couple of days here in Fulton County, and I mean, things are really heating up. It's like explosive with fireworks. We waited around to see if Fannie was going to make a statement, or if she was going to address the media, and I don't think that is going to happen. So, with all of that having happened, decided to come on out and do my reporting. But anyway, as we know, Fannie Willis and the DA has certainly got a win. The bombshell that we thought that Trump and the defense attorneys had did not happen. Can I say it again for you, for the people in the back to hear? They were absolutely unsuccessful, and it was a complete and total waste of taxpayers' dollars and time. So she was not disqualified, and certainly will not be disqualified, and is going to remain the prosecutor on this case of the election corruption back in 2020. So what can we say? Absolutely and totally and completely interesting. But a total of 2 weeks to make a determination. That wasn't really a determination at all, you all. It wasn't a determination. He basically said, hey, I'm going to toss this ball back in your court, and I am going to allow you to determine your own fate. Okay, so what did we go to court for? What did we, what was it at the end of the day? What was it all about? What was it in the grand scheme of things? All right, so anyway, I wanted to come on live and give you all a quick update. I don't know if anyone has any questions or any things that I can barely see because the sun is out and so bright. But that is the summation. All of this news coverage, all of this attention, all of this hype, all for nothing. She is still and will remain the prosecutor on this case. All right, you all. So we'll see and determine when they actually will go to trial, because I know that she was certainly pushing for the trial to happen before election day. So it's got to be done and handled relatively quickly. All right. Exactly. Oh, listen to Tammy. He's an interesting man. That's all I can say. He is certainly an interesting man. But anyway, this is Sir William coming to you from live in front of the Fulton County Superior Court, and wanted to address the Judge McAfee's decision, which wasn't really a real decision. It wasn't really a real decision by no means, because he allowed them to determine their fate. And he said that it was no financial gain. The whole implication, I mean, the woman makes over $250,000 a year, and she was reimbursing and giving her boyfriend essentially reimbursement for everything that he spent out. So what is the whole, why are you mad? Why are you mad now? I mean, I don't know. I'm still on the fence. I'm on the fence as to, can people work together and go together? I don't know. You all can tell me how you all feel about it. I don't really see her. The only problem that I had with her is that he was still technically a married man. So that's the only issue that I would have with this entire situation, is that, okay, yes, he was going through a divorce, but he was still technically married, and she decided to allow herself to get involved with a married man. However, let this be a lesson to us that I think is a couple of things at hand here. I think this was racially motivated. I'm never going to rule out race. I'm never going to rule out race, because I'm never not going to be black. And we're never going to erase slavery and Jim Crow and racism in this country. It will never be erased. It'll never be eradicated. It's forever embedded in the fabric of American history. So one, it was racially motivated, and then two, it was politically motivated. Republicans, and I'm sure that they are somewhere with a cup of coffee, chewing some gum, trying to figure out another strategy to try to take her down, or to try to take anyone that's in opposition of him down. That's just the reality of it. That's just the reality of it. And we have to begin to really, whether we want to or not, we have to really come to the conclusion that this is the reality of America. It's a ugly truth. It's an ugly truth. But it did not prevail. It did not prevail. So, definitely know that the decision came down this morning at about 9 o'clock. Judge Scott McAfee decided or handed down an 18-page decision, of which we were able to get a copy of, and I do have a copy. But you don't even have to read the full 18 pages, because on page 8, that's where the gravamen and the meat of the decision is, which wasn't a real decision. Okay, so my decision is, this is what Judge McAfee said. My decision is Fannie Willis has the right to make the decision. I mean, come on. He gave her two options. You step aside and Nathan Wade stay. Or Nathan Wade steps aside and you stay. What they gonna do? They gonna fire him and she's going forward with the case. That's it. Fire Nate and move forward. All right. So that's where we are today. It's Friday, and I tell you, the fireworks have been on and been rather explosive here at the Fulton County Superior Court House. Very, very, very interesting couple of days. Okay, let me see. I really believe the judge gave... okay. So, what is the win? Well, it's no win in this for Trump. He's still facing the charges and the indictment. And the prosecutor that he wanted off, they wasn't able to get her off. They wasn't able to get her disqualified. So what is the slick win? Articulate that to me. All of you that have these conspiracy theories. Articulate how Fannie staying the prosecutor of the case is a win for Trump. How is that? How are you coming to that conclusion? Now, I kind of thought you was a smart woman, but you're going to make me quickly, think otherwise. It's not a win. It wasn't a just precise side totally in her favor. Now, that's what it wasn't, because he allowed her the ability to determine whether or not she would stay. That now if that's what you're pretty much saying, then maybe so, because he just didn't flat out rule in her favor. Okay, y'all. I don't know. It still looks like it will be August, but we're not totally sure. The thing about it is, and that's the situation here. That let's address that. So He is aggressively running and wanting to be president again, I think with certainly ulterior motives. And those motives are that he knows if he's president again, that he'll have immunity and he will not be able to be tried or convicted on any of the things that he has done. So that's the real motivation as to why you want to be president, because you don't want to be tried. You don't want to have to face the music of the reality of the laws and the crimes that you have committed. So, anyway, you all, okay, Randolph says, I think we can agree. Okay, well, we thought, and it's getting a little windy, but we thought they prepared us. They were certainly on guard that if any Trump supporters or protesters decided to come down to the courthouse or decided to, create some type of uproar, but none of that happened. So, as you can see, none of that took place at all. So very calm Friday, as far as activity. No protesting. No acting up, no bad behavior, none of that. And so you can see, very calm, very calm, very calm. So anyway, you all know that I like to bring you the information firsthand. Definitely like to be in the place and representing you all and bringing the story and the information back to you all. Yes, I did see that he and I have been informed that he did step aside. Alrighty. So anyway, wanted to give you all that update. This is Friday afternoon with none other than Sir William out in front of Fulton County Courthouse, and it has certainly been a busy and very active couple of days here at the courthouse. Yes, I posted that. I did post that. All right, you all. So anyway, again, in closing recap, Fani Willis will remain as the prosecutor in the Trump election corruption trial. Nate Wade, her accused or alleged boyfriend that she had a relationship with, has stepped aside. The decision from Judge Scott McAfee was that she there was two options. One option was that she stepped aside and the Fulton County DA's office would step aside, or the second option was Nathan Wade step aside and she remained. So, looks like we have a determination that Nathan Wade has stepped aside and Fannie will remain the prosecutor on the case. All right? So, I tell you, interesting couple of days. Now, for those of you that are just coming on, the YSL trial has, that courtroom has heated up in the last 2 days. I mean, it has been fireworks, literally. Adrian Love, who is the assistant prosecutor, got into a pretty much shouting match yesterday with Weinstein, who is one of the defendants. They were arguing to the point where Deputy Ingram had to get involved and say, hey, you all got to tone it down. Judge Gainville told them, hey, you all got to bring it down a notch. He also had some very strong words for Adrian Love, who was vehemently against his ruling to allow the tape. Now, there was a tape and a recording of Adrian Bean after he was arrested and apprehended back in 2013. He was taken to Grady. She was very much against the tape being played and made admissible in the case, because in the tape you can hear the investigator cram for the kind of feeding Adrian Bean these responses, and somewhat they're figuring out a way to include Young Thug, born Jeffrey, government name Jeffrey Williams. They were figuring out a way to try to tie him into the case and the person that was killed back in 2013 over on Cleveland Avenue. All right. So it was very heated, and the tension was so thick in there today, you could cut it with a butter knife. I mean, it was definitely tense. But anyway, I wanted to come live for you all. Been here at the courthouse all day. The decision from Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee that Fannie Willis, will remain the prosecutor in the Trump election corruption trial. All right. So you all, I'll be back next week, and well, I'll be doing lives this weekend and throughout the weekend. But we'll definitely be back here, giving y'all and bringing you all the news firsthand, live, right as it's going down. Thank you all for for your continued support. Without you and without your contributions, I wouldn't be able to do this work as an African American independent media outlet. So thank you all. Continue to support and show and sow some love into Sir William, so I can continue to bring you firsthand coverage. And don't be surprised if I pop up this weekend at the NAACP Image Awards. Y'all always know I have something up my sleeve. All right, you all. So until later on, I want to say thank you. Again, you've been watching Sir William and live in front of the Fulton County Superior Courthouse. Thank you.